Welcome to the Real Film Nerds
Harvest Horror Fest.
Welcome back, faithful listeners, to Harvest Horror Fest, Volume 4, Episode number 2. Mike, I did look it up, and this is the 4th iteration of the Harvest Horror Fest, if you can believe it. So the podcast has been going for 3 years, soon to be 4 this coming February, and our first Harvest Horror Fest was that year we did it when we started. So, Mike, how does that make you feel, even older, that our podcast and your Harvest Horror Fest is older than both of your children combined?
That's a very true statement. Wow. Man, number 4. Time flies, dude.
So, Mike, for Harvest Horror Fest, Volume 4, Episode number dose, it was my pick, kind of. I mean, it's your thing. It was my suggestion. You said, let's do it. I haven't seen that one in a while. It is 13 Ghosts, spelled with a 13.
Yep, it sure is, man. And I enjoyed watching this one again. So I can start with a rundown. This one was directed by Steve Beck. It was written by Rob White, Neil Marshall Stevens, Richard DiVadio, Todd Alcott, and someone we might recognize, James Gunn. And this movie is starring Tony Shalhoub, Shannon Elizabeth, Imbeth Davids, Matthew Lillard, F. Murray Abram, and it is about when Cyrus Kritikos, a very rich collector of unique things, dies. He leaves his house and fortune to his nephew and his family. While they're inside, they find they're not alone. Well, that's pretty vague.
Well, but there's 13 ghosts in there with them.
Yes, there are a few ghosts in there with them.
So, Mike, I like this movie. I think it's fun. Yes, it's cheesy. It's goofy. The acting is questionable at times, especially by some of the support staff. But I like this movie. It's like we discussed last week when we were teasing this one. It's a haunted house movie. It's a monster movie. It's a ghost story. It's all these things in one. It's a whole lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. And I know it gets a lot of crap, but I mean, dude, this was 2001. Look at the CGI they have in here. Look at the makeup. They did a wonderful job for a 20-year-old movie. It still holds up very well.
Yeah. The only thing that I saw that was a little bit dated, of course, was the CGI, but the makeup and the sets are amazing. So, like, I felt like it does hold up pretty well.
And honestly, Mike, think about it. That CGI is 20 years old. It didn't look that bad. Yes, it's not incredible like today where you can't tell if it's real or if it's CGI. You can tell it's CGI, but it's not terrible. It's not like some other films of modern day where the CGI budget was like $5.
Yeah, no, it wasn't terrible. It was good, man. I liked it. Watching it again, I'd forgotten about some of the CGI things and the need for it, but it fit the movie, and I don't know, the makeup. I had also forgotten how good the makeup was for all the ghosts. It was really cool.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. And I know which one is your favorite. It's the naked lady makeup.
Yeah, because of the 3 B's, man. We got, the blood, the beast, the breast. So we succeeded.
Winner, chicken dinner. And of course, it's the movie I picked. Boom, winning.
Yeah. I enjoyed the scene where the shiesty lawyer, I guess.
Dude, it's a 20-year-old movie. We can spoil it. Go for it.
Yeah?
We don't care. It's a 20-year-old movie. If you haven't seen it by now, go watch it. You'll enjoy it. It's 20 years old. We're going to spoil it. Go for it.
All right. So with that, I love that part where the shiesty lawyer gets cut in half. It's been done in several movies, but it was still pretty good in this one. I enjoyed it.
They did a fantastic job with it, especially how the back half of him sticks to the glass, and the front half of him slowly oozes down, and you can see that he's still alive. He's moving his eyeballs, and then you see his brain and his spinal column. Yeah, it was wonderful makeup. It was very well done.
Yeah, that was fun. I'd forgotten about that scene, so it was good. It was fun reliving this. It's hard to believe it was 20 years, but anyway, it was cool. It was cool seeing this movie again.
Before we get way too ahead of ourselves, we got ourselves a nice little giveaway today from our friends over at Paramount. It's one of their smaller companies, I believe. It is a little movie called American Insurrection. So, Mike, did you get a chance to check out the trailer?
I did not.
Okay. Well, I watched it, and it is a big time kind of what if film. It looks interesting. Definitely probably will have to check it out, but that's not up to me and you, Mike. That's up to our listeners who get to enter our contest to win a copy of this film. Mike, what should they do? What should our listeners do?
Well, since this is a ghost movie, they should tell us what their favorite ghost movie is. And, it's the Harvest Horror Fest, so why not?
Perfect, Mike. I love it. If you want to be entered to win one of the copies of this brand new Paramount film that just came out a couple days ago, American Insurrection, go ahead and email Mike or myself, Matt, at realfilmnerds.com, or you can also email us at nerds@realfilmnerds.com with your favorite ghost movie of all times, or TV show, maybe TV show too, because there's some good ones out there, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, TV show's fine too. Just something, I guess, with a ghost in it, it would be fine.
Yeah. Give us your favorite, and we'll put you in our little drawing to win a copy of American Insurrection. All right, well, here is the business for our giveaway. The action-packed thriller American Insurrection is now streaming on Redbox. After a powerful militia seizes control of the U.S., a group of friends try to escape the growing violence and will do whatever it takes to survive. Stream American Insurrection instantly on Redbox today. Rated R, and again, that is from our friends over at Paramount Pictures.
All right, Matt. So I know we're a little bit off format, but I'm going to ask you anyway, Matt. What are you drinking right now?
Of course, Mike, of course. Well, you know me, I am trying to stick to it as long as I can get them. The Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Once again, it is October, the best month of the year, not just because I was born in it, but because it is fall, it is Halloween, it is horror movies, it is candy. I'm a fat kid. I like my sweets.
Okay, all right. Well, that's awesome. I also am, enjoying fall in my own way, and I'm drinking one of those pumpkin beers, and today I'm drinking one of the Nitro Pumpkin beer. So it's like king instead of pumpkin, and it is fantastic. It's from Southern Tier, and it is a great beer.
You're keeping it going with yet another different pumpkin beer. Although you did have 2 weeks there where you had the same one, so we'll let it slide because you're a busy man.
Yeah. I tried to stock up before my daughter was born, and so I was been waiting for a little bit cooler weather, and just it upsets me a little bit that they start selling pumpkin beer in August, but I have to deal with it, so I buy the stuff and then I just hold on to it, and then I drink it later.
So maybe I should ask you this. So since your daughter's been born, have you seen the sky?
I have.
Okay, good. When you're out walking the dog, right? It gets you outside?
Yeah. I get out there with the dog and my son now. Like we have stroller walks a lot.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. All right, Mike. So now the most important question of the Real Film Nerds podcast, episode number 242. I didn't say that at the beginning. Mike, how does 13 Ghosts relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
All right, Matt. So this one I was a little on the fence about. It's one of the writers for this was James Gunn, but he's not credited. And obviously James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Suicide Squad. But so I was a little bit like, I don't know if I should use that. It's kind of a cop-out. So what I ended up doing was looking a little bit deeper, and I found out that the editor on this, Derek Brechin, worked in the editorial department for Iron Man.
All right, Mike. So you got 2. Now, why do you think they didn't give James Gunn credit? Do you think it was just because he didn't do a whole lot, or do you think he just wasn't a big enough star in 2001?
I don't know, man. You know, a lot of times they talk about ghostwriters or whatever, and maybe he was one of those for this, where they don't really get credit. I think they get paid, but it's like a nominal fee, and then that's it. Like, they just write some stuff, and they get paid, and they determine if they're going to use it. I don't know. It seems like it's more of a very small contract kind of side gig.
So what you're saying is James Gunn was a ghostwriter for 13 Ghosts.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. That wasn't exactly how I was looking at it, but yeah, sure.
So he's the 14th ghost.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 uncredited, so he might be the 15th ghost.
Oh, all right. Well, it's James Gunn. Let's give him 14th because he's doing a stellar career now.
Okay, that's true. He is.
Okay, Mike, so I would say we're in the spoiler section, but I think we've been in the spoiler section since about 3 minutes in. So other than the lawyer getting split in half, give me your thoughts more about this film.
I think I really like the way that it was set up, and it's not too serious, like you said. It's kind of goofy. Some of the actors in the movie aren't the greatest, but that's okay. It's just they focused a lot on the content of, having these different ghosts and this kind of weird haunted house and stuff, and it was cool. Like, that set, like, whoever designed that thing, that was great, man. Like, with all the glass and the different stuff, whoever they got to do that was amazing. I don't even know how they fit that in their budget because it seems so good. So I applaud them for that. I mean, I guess the only thing that I kind of didn't like about this movie, rewatching it, was some of the quick editing jumps that it has with when you see the ghost and then you don't see the ghost. And I get it that we're not supposed to see them unless you have the special glasses, but it seemed a little much sometimes.
So one of the complaints I have is this a 50,000 square foot house? Because it seems like wherever they go, it's never ending mazes. And I didn't think it was that big of a house from when we see it roll up. But how do you get lost in the basement? I mean, yes, there's tunnels and all this other stuff, but literally when Matthew Lillard's character walks down there, it's a hallway, and that's where all the ghosts are. And then they're getting lost down there in I don't know. I'm confused on that.
No, right. I agree, man. I feel like the basement was just like an L or maybe a U shape. Doesn't seem like it'd be too hard to find your way back.
Right. And then it's a glass house. So they're all running around upstairs. So wouldn't you be able to see the people from above you if you're in the basement? Sure, you might not be able to see from the top down because the basement's probably darker. But looking up, you should still be able to see the people running around. And then, oh, dude, this is one that drives me nuts. Not to complain about a movie I like, but this is one that drives me a little nuts. So the son and the daughter, played by my beloved Shannon Elizabeth, who, she doesn't get naked in this one. Sorry, folks. That was American Pie. Shannon Elizabeth and the son, I'm forgetting the character's name, disappear 3/4 of the way through the movie, and it seems like nobody cares. They fight really hard looking for her and the son for a while, and then they're just like, oh, well, I guess they're gone. Let's go do something else. Really?
Yeah, yeah. So that's probably just continuity things. It might have been some editing mistakes. I'm sure they still were looking for him. I don't know.
Okay, well, I hope so, because it's just kind of they're all right, well, they're not around. Oh, and then there they are. They're in the floor that's turned into a spinning razor blade room.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, that's true. The the weird gyroscope gear thingy room.
Yeah. Yes. We'll go with that.
Yes. Gyroscope gear thingy room. Got it.
All right, Mike. So did you make it to the theaters and see the new James Bond?
I did not. You know, I would love to. I feel like all these movies are coming out of the theater that I'd love to go see, and I can't. I got no time. I can't go disappear for 3 hours or 4 hours.
You can. Maniacal Megs just might be very angry at you.
No, I don't think I can.
No, she won't let you at all. You're not allowed to go outside again. That's why I was asking if you'd see the sun. So you're looking a little pale, like a ghost.
Yeah. Well, I go outside, but it's dark in the morning, and then I get to go out in the evening too.
Well, Mike, I did not go to the theater either. I was very busy this weekend, so I did not go and see the new James Bond. But it is getting absolutely crucified by the critics, but the fans are loving it. So I don't know.
So it's probably a great movie then, because I feel like the critics, I mean, I guess we're critics, but we're not critics. We don't hate everything we watch. Like, we just don't have that. I mean, every once in a while we get that hate, but we don't have it like the critics. Like, you have to be really, really curmudgeoned, you know, like just hate everything. They probably just wake up in the morning and they're like, why? I should have died last night.
Do you think they're hangry? Like that commercial? Like that they got to eat something?
Oh, yeah. Maybe they just need a Snickers bar?
Yeah, a Snickers bar. Me, I'm akin to sandwiches. I'm a big fan of the sandwiches.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you think they need a McRib?
Definitely. Oh my God, Mike, you just opened Pandora's box. The McRib is coming. The countdown has begun. Normally it would be out by now. What?
Yeah, pandemic?
November 1st. The McRib
Did the
returns.
pandemic get it?
The pandemic? Yeah, let's just blame it on the pandemic.
I blame everything on the pandemic.
What if the cure for COVID-19 is a McRib? Would you eat one?
Sure.
Well, I've watched you eat some. I purchased some for you when I was over there. I believe it was for your wedding.
Yes, it was.
I was very upset because that was the time period when Arizona was not getting McRibs at all, no matter what time of year it was. And go over there, and I even brought some home on the plane.
Yeah, no, it was like they were plentiful over here.
It was the land of McRib. Okay, Mike, I'll get us back on track. 13 Ghosts.
Sorry, I did that. I threw you out there. Yep.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I wish it was today. But, you know, at least I know for a fact it's coming. It's just, it seems like it takes longer and longer, you know? And I don't know how it is over there, but here, no matter what time of day I drive by McDonald's, it's starting to become like In-N-Out Burger. Now, maybe that's because probably the lobbies are still closed, but there's always a line wrapped around freaking McDonald's here. And I just don't get it. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of McDonald's at all. I think the best part that they make is probably their breakfast and the McRib. That's it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Every once in a while, I still get a chicken nugget kick, but you know, living the good old days back when I used to eat a lot of chicken nuggets when I was a little kid. But no, I like their breakfast, and that's about it, man. Like, that's it.
Seriously, their breakfast burritos are quite tasty. The McGriddle, I mean, that's basically a heart attack in a wrapper.
Yeah, but it's sweet and awesome.
I know, it's delightful. And they have the full breakfast, the complete breakfast or whatever they call it. I used to get that all the time when I was a kid. It was literally like going to a restaurant getting a breakfast. It was like pancakes and eggs and bacon and oh my God. Delightful.
Yeah.
Okay, remember, you did this. Not me. You did this.
It was me. All right. Let's get back on track, man. 13 Ghosts.
So my recommendation is definitely go and watch this one. I think you will enjoy it because I enjoy this movie a lot. I'm not a huge horror movie film. This is I would say it definitely is a horror movie. It's all those different kind of genres blended together of the horror subgenres. Check it out, unless you can't handle gore, because there is a lot of gore.
Yeah, I would also recommend it. it's a kind of like a horror movie light. It's not super scary. There is quite a bit of gore, but it's fun. It's not super serious. Like it's a pretty good movie. Just the acting's not the best, and there's a few things here and there like we've talked about, but overall, it's a pretty fun movie, man. And when you suggested it, man, I was like, oh yeah, let's watch that one. I like that one.
Okay, Mike, so how many reels?
I'm going to give this one 3 reels out of 5.
So clearly, Ma Hinshaw, which hopefully you'll hear later in the podcast, if Lisa Live and Local on Magic 99.1 sends me the recordings from Monday, hopefully she does. Ma Hinshaw and I both really like this better than you, Mike. We both gave it 4 out of 5 reels.
Oh, man. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked she liked it so much because she's not a fan of horror or blood, guts, and gore or any of that stuff. And she just thought this movie was a lot of fun and hilarious.
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. Well, yeah. Well, if you and Ma Hinshaw liked it, I guess everyone should watch it.
Damn right. So, speaking of watching things, Mike, next week we hit the theaters with your pick. I mean, you picked most of these. I just threw a couple in there. Your pick, Halloween Kills. Give us a rundown of what we're going to check out on that.
All right. So this is the sequel to the last, man, I don't remember the official name of it.
Halloween.
There's been so many.
It was just Halloween. I looked it up earlier. It was just Halloween from 2018. So that's the thing. When you type in Halloween and movie, you got to make sure and pick which one because they're all called Halloween. Some have numbers, some don't. Some are really bad. Some are okay. I was looking it up. I'm just like, Mike, the more confusing part for me on this is where the hell does this even fit in with all the Halloween movies?
So this is a sequel. So the original Halloween movie still stands. So the original one from was it 1979 or something?
Nailed it. Yep. 79.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that one is the first one. Then we've got Halloween 2018. And then now we have Halloween Kills. All the other ones that were in between there are vanished. And we are in just this is the third movie in a magic timeline. Because
would you say they're
so many
voided or annulled or divorced?
It's a good question, Matt. I guess just voided. Just boom, gone.
Okay, so they no longer exist, but you can still find them on the streaming services and the internets and the IMDb's. So they're not doing a good job of cleanup whatsoever, much like the oil spill in California. Boom!
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, nice. Well, like, I think Halloween 3, like, I don't remember what it's, like, the name of it's called, but, like, Halloween 3 was the one where it was, like, this haunted, like, doll thing. Like, there was no Michael Myers. It was super weird. Super weird.
And I think that's the one that everybody likes because it wasn't like the rest of them.
It was like, yeah, it was creepy, man. Like, it was like a toy company. It was like trying to, like, take over, like, brainwash children. It was a weird one, man. It was like the Night of the Witch or something, or Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch. I think that's right. That's right. I don't think I've ever seen that one because I watched the original one and that one was freaking phenomenal. I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, has nothing to do with any of the weird Halloween movies, which, I mean, I guess is interesting, but weird. So there's just so many Halloween movies, but, you know, I'm interested to see how they wrap this up. This, I think, is a finale, so I think this is like a trilogy, Matt, and this is the third one, even though they didn't make the first one. And John Carpenter made like a new soundtrack for this movie, I guess, so they're hyping that up. So I'm excited to see it. The Halloween 2018 was actually really good, so we'll see how this one goes. I was very disappointed in the Rob Zombie Halloweens, actually. Speaking of Halloween movies.
I have to say, I haven't seen it. And Rob Zombie has a history of making really good horror movies. He's probably one of the world's biggest Halloween movie buffs. I mean, not Halloween, but one of the biggest horror movie buffs like on the planet. And for him to be making like horror movies is pretty awesome. And it's sad that his wasn't very good. I've never watched it because I heard how bad it was and I didn't want his reputation in my eyes to go down, I guess is a nice way to put it, because he's a great musician.
No, it was just weird, man. Yeah, just wasn't. I don't know. He's made some decent horror movies, but like The Devil's Rejects, I really liked. But I don't know. So just House of a Thousand Corpses that never got released and then finally did, and then you're like, why didn't this get released? It doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, but I'm diverging too much.
No, it's
Matt,
very much on point, Mike, because we are going to be talking about Halloween next week. So this will be a little taste of what we will be diving into hopefully next week. So you're going to have to do some research on your phone when you're sitting there rocking your baby to sleep. How's that?
All right, I will. I'll do some research. But the interesting thing about this Halloween Kills coming out, it'll be released in theaters and on Peacock streaming simultaneously.
So they're picking up the HBO Max model.
Just for this movie, I think.
So are you going to go watch in the theaters or are you going to stream it, Mike?
I think due to my current situation, I will be streaming it on the lines.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. And, it'll be interesting to see the numbers and how they report them or if they don't report them, because a lot of the streaming services just flat out don't report their numbers. And that's one of the biggest things surrounding, the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit, because, that is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Yeah. That is streaming without having to pay for the plus.
Right.
They settled that lawsuit though, Matt. Did we talk about that last week?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah, no, it's settled. ScarJo, I don't know, nothing was disclosed because it was settled, but I imagine ScarJo got another 20-30 mil, so she's good.
Yeah, and that's like pocket change for Disney now. So I don't know, maybe they took a pretty hard hit on COVID. I mean, the parks were closed for a long time.
Yeah, the parks in California were closed for a very long time, 13 months, and in Florida it was less, like a lot less, like a few months, but and then all around the world too, the parks were closed and opened and then closed, I think. So, I don't know. It sounds like, in the rush to put stuff on streaming services, there has been some poor execution and double checking on people's contracts.
Shocker.
Because a lot of these, I guess especially with Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and stuff, the actors agree to like a base fee to initially do the movie, and then they would like a cut of the release because they make a ton of money, and it's kind of a win-win for both, right? They don't have to spend as much to produce the movie on the actors, and then when they do make all this money, they just have to split a little bit with them. With the streaming stuff, things get a lot more murky. I know with HBO Max, when they said they were going to release all their movies to streaming at the same time, they paid like everybody. They gave them like all this extra money. Like for all the movies.
So Disney doesn't care then.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like somebody dropped the ball on that. But I also wonder, like, they released what was it? The Jungle Cruise?
Yes.
Yeah, the Jungle Cruise. On the streaming, and it's like, but that one had like Emily Blunt and The Rock. I think they had that one straightened out, so I'm not sure if it was just like some of the MCU stuff or if it was because that one was coming out and it was supposed to have come out right before the pandemic hit. Like they didn't have any of that stuff figured out. and they didn't plan to put it on the streaming service, and then they did, and then things got weird. You know, like, because it was about to come out. Black Widow was, coming out in, like, May of 2020?
Oh, God, yeah. They postponed it so many freaking times.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like done, and it was about to be released. And then COVID hit, and then, like, you know, obviously they didn't update the contracts and stuff at that point, but they, you know. So I think just somebody dropped the ball.
Well, all right, Mike. Well, I think we have come to the end of our time for Harvest Horror Fest Volume 4, Episode number 2. Also, Real Film Nerds Podcast, Episode 242. Okay, so Mike, go ahead, do your thing.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And go out there, stream a movie. Watch a movie at the theater if you feel comfortable. You know, enjoy your October and the fall season and all the pumpkin-y things, you know, you can get now. Like I don't know. There's probably like a pumpkin like air freshener for your car and all kinds of stuff now. I feel like there's pumpkin everything. Like, I'm surprised my microphone's not covered in pumpkin.
Dude, everybody loves a little PSL air freshener.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. PSLs. That's where it's at. All right, man. Well, I think that's it. So thanks for listening, everybody. Catch you on the next pod.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.